so.
Yeah, McFarlane to Darling and Dawson to Kennedy.
For West Coast and Fremantle, the summer is over and the real work begins. We are about to start Derby 37 and it's on right from the start. Griffin and Cox, and the ball almost didn't come out. Prentice, of course, and the mop of hair that's in amongst it, straight into another stoppage.
Yeah, the first bounce, you had Prentice and Fife going at it. Looks like Scott Selwood, who now goes over to Fife after starting originally on... I don't think who it was. I've just lost contact of it because they swap over. It's interesting. Monday he had it the first bounce. They often do that to mislead who they're going to actually follow.
Crowley's gone to Shuey by the look of it.
14-game veteran Lee Spur has gone to Lacroix.
Gaff gets the first kick in anger and gets the Eagles deep forward and straight onto it. Was Lacroix, and he couldn't handle it. Gaff's going to get the second kick as well. How about that? Deep into the 50, and Cripps, who had a habit at St Kilda of just popping up in the right place and being able to kick a goal or two. He pops up in just the right spot there, Doom.
Gutsy mark too, wasn't it? But they knew he was going to get some contact. There's never been any doubt on him with his courage. He's a pretty good kid.
16 goals in 16 matches. A lot of the time he was a sub for St Kilda. And he gets his opportunity. And wouldn't this boost the young man's confidence? From 35 metres out, did not make a mistake. A wonderful start for the West Coast Eagles and for Jamie Cripps.
Well, not hard to endear yourself to teammates when you take a courageous mark like that early on in a big game. Go back, handle the pressure with a really good kick. That's the perfect start for West Coast Eagles and for Cripps.
We were out in the ground earlier, as everyone would have seen, and there is a breeze floating to that end, but strangely enough, it's a little bit MCG-ish. When you go down the other end and you get within 50, the breeze flows to the goals at the other end as well.
So Jamie Cripps, as we said, coming across as a trade from St Kilda, instantly provides results. Just on the bottom of your screen there, Gaff's had 2 disposals already. He's head-to-head with Daniel Pearce, so there'll be plenty of footy between those two, you would suspect, this afternoon. Can Fremantle hit back? Was that high? It was. We've seen that consistent interpretation. Pearce might get on the end of this here if Marston lets Crowley get up. He didn't. And the forward line is a very heavily populated area. Pavlich is on a long lead. He's got to come over a few, and there was good body work, so Waters was able to get back and take the mark in ample time and space, and used Hearn and Cripps, doing it at both ends. The Dockers not letting them get out cleanly, though. Hearn tried to butter his way up, and so did Cripps. Now the congestion starts to build. Shepherd goes to ground and wins a free.
Playing on the wing, Shepherd, he's opposed to Mzungu.
We talked pre-match about Fremantle not allowing their opponents to switch and get out. Well, the Eagles have switched and they've got out, with Hams taking the mark. But with the kick landing still just shallow of half back, it's the next one. So really they haven't got out just yet. Kenzie has to go down the line, so that's a mini win for Freo. 5. Timing perfect. Great to have him back at full fitness. Into Hill. Pavlich makes it a smart lead, but Hill deciding there wasn't enough space in front of him. Pavlich still calling for it 60 metres down the line. He's got 2 to combat. Main in front, so Pavlich didn't fly. And that allowed the Eagles' defence to pounce pretty successfully. Marston able to cast it away to Cox, up to the wing. Kennedy, another one back at full fitness.
Not many ruckmen can hit it lace out like that on the non-dominant.
Leclerc in the clear. He's got Hill away to his left. He might be able to go on his own. It was a vacant square, which was tempting. Ooh. Just misses. Promising start by the Eagles, though, Jason.
It is, and they look their hands on the ball. 18 possessions to 3, so Freo just can't find the leather at the moment.
You know the fullbacks now under extra time pressure. Spur goes long. Kennedy, a powerhouse in the air when he's at his best.
He just chips one short to Coxie here. He's only got Daniel Pearce standing next to him. Just chip it.
Ignores Lysette, ignores Cox, went long. There's only small men down there, but it didn't matter. One of the smallest of them all, Hams, has taken a virtually uncontested mark.
I reckon that annoys the coach as much as anything when there's a long high kick in and you get an uncontested mark, in particular from a small bloke, that's a sin.
Well, if you have a look at the blokes on the screen around him then, they were all manned up. He got down there by himself.
Well, it's crazy how you think he could get there unmanned. But it's a terrific start for the West Coast Eagles. Hams joins Cripps on the goal kickers list, and they have 2 goals, 1-0.
We look at the inside 50s. West Coast Eagles 3, Fremantle 2. 2 of the 3 times West Coast Eagles have gone in, it's been quick movement. It's a real scoring opportunity. Both times Fremantle have gone in. It's been long bomb. It's been picked off. It's a high sky ball, which big numbers have got to and just killed the contest. So hard to read a pattern into the game at the moment. So that would say that these are bonus goals to the West Coast Eagles.
Duffield is playing on Hams at the moment. Whether he was the guilty party or not, hard to determine. But West Coast lead by 13. And the bounce favoured Griffin. Of course, the umpire deciding no. Of course, no Sandilands today, no Clark, so it's a big load.
It's interesting at that centre bounce, you had both Stephen Hill and Daniel Pearce in the middle for Freo, and then more your outside runners. They've got them there for the contested centre ball.
That's Stevic, one of the 3 umpires today, got them started again. Paridis.
Oh, he's going to be stiff.
Yep, he is.
He didn't drag it in. The ball actually rebounded back into his hands, and he just grabbed it as it came to him.
Nick Subin finds the run of Hill. Sharp lead from Main. Still too far out to score. Got Bradley deep. Took something off the kick. Prop there was Cox. Got there before Griffin. And able to sort it out with Hearn. Driving kick was outstanding for Kennedy.
He started well, hasn't he, Josh Kennedy? Just a beautiful lead and grab the footy. Very clean hands.
You mentioned the umpire, Matt Stevic, before. I think he's up for his 200th game today, isn't he, Matt Stevic, the umpire?
He is, and he got some feedback from his mates saying it's only been 100 good ones. So he's celebrating, but it was stifled by his fellow umpires today.
Dean Nuggets. I think Shane McInerney was the major contributor.
Pretty experienced trio.
Yeah.
Lysette takes his turn in the ruck now against Griffin. Pearce tried to wind his way through. And the numbers swelling up in there. Kingy.
The 3 things that I think are really important to getting the result today: the 7-minute barrier. Each team has won virtually undefeated last year. Freo 9 wins and 1 loss when they've averaged more than 7 minutes locked in their forward half. And the West Coast Eagles are 11 zip last year. Stoppage success we've spoken about heavily, with the ruckman being out in terms of Nick Natanui and Sandilands. And the old Eagle forward 50, Kennedy and Lacroix back there today.
Well, they started well. Hill under some stress already. Hearn has had a big influence, comes out, turns that one over, and Hill able to pounce and set Ballantyne away. They need a bit of a steadier, and Pavlich, who kicked 8 last time, starts with a misfire.
Just loved the way Darren Glass left his opponent, because he saw Ballantyne would have run onto the loose ball, and he didn't cause the turnover, but he just held it up enough for help to get back.
Lysette got the tap down. Ballantyne. McKenzie certainly not leaving Pavlich alone. Here's Clancy Pearce. Just back into the maze of players. Schofield, Gaff did all he could do just to heave it out of there. Bradley comes late to try and make a contest of it. Successful. Barlow, Pearce, they wind it up again. Walters with a nice fly over the top, but it's all West Coast. McKenzie and Shuey collaborate out to the wing. Spur, they've locked it in there. Freo, there's no way out just at the moment. Maybe a boundary line and then a reset for the Eagles is a good way to try and get out of there. Look at the numbers around the footy. Contested possession count, you note there 17-8. Favour of the Eagles. Some holding. Free kick to Fife. Lane is deep. Walters. Pavlich now found a bit of real estate to move into, but it was closed up pretty quickly. It missed the lock and got through. Gee, it wasn't.
Hello, just having a look at time in forward half. It's plus 2 minutes at this stage to the Fremantle Dockers. They haven't been able to hit the scoreboard yet, but this is their style. Lock it in, force an error from the West Coast, but they've been brilliant at this stage.
Well, the Eagles got 1, didn't they, on the rebound from that situation. Something that Freo were very good at last year.
Classic case, it's almost like the old Kevin Bartlett adage. West Coast Eagles have only laid 3 tackles, basically because they've got the footy. They've had so much of it. Dockers have laid 12 so far.
Yes, Kevin didn't lay very many in his career. Hill with the up and under. He's quite proud of that. Main couldn't take the mark. Finds a way to get a fist in, and Hearn, what a powerful force he is. Angled his right foot kick, but unfortunately Cox wasn't able to get there, and Dawson had a very steady year in his first season at Fremantle. Mundy, he's another back at full fitness who can really help Fremantle go somewhere this year. Not a great kick, obviously. Lysette takes West Coast into the middle. Cripps got a couple of options. Shuey was one. Had greater ambition. Finds Hill. Shuey's ahead of him. He's got Shepherd bolting back to the square. Shepherd versus Duffield. Shepherd took prime position. Duffield quite experienced in that situation, being a regular defender, was able to worry him out of it.
He watched the ball, Duffield. Shepherd was more worried about drawing contact.
No second effort from Shepherd either to get back on the context.
He's on the railway tracks. He kept going past it.
After 8 seasons at Port Adelaide, Daniel Pearce now at Docker. Up to the wing, Bradley, Lysette, both got up and down without really influencing it. Well done, Griffin, a couple of times. Lovely smother. And you see the big blokes doing that sort of stuff. It inspires the teammates around, and they all put their body on the line. Main out the back. Barlow, they found the exit. Dawson, though, not really a kicker, so handballs back to Crowley, the best and fairest from last year. To half forward. Neither forward could get a run at it. Pavlich right up the ground. There's Mzungu and Fife and Main. And now Pavlich, it's one-on-one. It's Walters, the small man, against the strength and the prowess in the air of Glass. And he gets it back, finds Marston. There's another obvious kick over the top here to McKenzie.
They've already pushed back to Dockers, so he's going to have to run this if he wants good penetration.
He ignores Darling, goes long for Hams. Worked earlier, and it doesn't this time.
A little bit going on with McCrae and Fife off the ball.
Stephen Hill has 5 disposals for Fremantle. Jamie Cripps has 6 for West Coast. He's the most with the footy so far. Now Duffield committed to playing on. Wished he didn't, but was just, well, he hasn't got out of it yet. No.
Great tackle. Great tackle. Oh, they got loose players everywhere at full.
And Hams finds one of them. Old Gaff lived up to his name there, unfortunately. Around the corner, though.
Something in his eyes? Trying to make some sort of excuse for dropping a chest mark in such a good position.
Could be so critical later. You expect it to be tight between these two sides.
Not a lot of sun when you're looking down at your belly button to accept a chest mark, Jason.
See that the inside 50s, 8 for Freo for no score. West Coast in 5 times. They've scored 4 times. Barlow to thread the needle there, and he finds Walters. Bradley calling for it along the line. Barlow, a little opening in the middle. This is where they can cut them up. Barlow committed to one side. They read what he was going to do, and they're not finding clean links. Fremantle at the moment. Hearn is really thwarting them so far. Into the middle, the Lacroix finds a bit of touch. Ham has kept on popping up in the right places. The sun is a factor that time. Maybe it was before. Lysette did well to get a kick away, and the ball's shaping towards goal, and Spur got very nervous for a moment.
Well, you can see that the Doggers are trying to play on at every opportunity, but a couple of times they've got themselves in trouble.
Well, they're happy to play a slingshot sort of game, a bit similar to Sydney Swans, aren't they?
And playing on's great, but make sure you clear first.
Fife does get away from Selwood, and he stole the march there. Kicks to the one-on-one. Waters got Ballantyne covered in the air.
That's the problem at the moment, Hutto. Just that first kick forward of centre's really not finding an obvious target. They're going at 40% effectiveness forward of centre Fremantle. It's cruelling their inside 50 opportunities.
That kick is not out far enough in front of the leading player, King. It's almost hanging on their head and giving the backman a chance.
Oh, what a talent he is, Shuey. Bursting away, using all his attributes. That's the way he runs. Works it over the top to Hams again.
Oh! Really got decapitated.
Whatever happens, Munnings, you are not getting past me.
See what, the kick you were talking about before, Dan, was a great score by Bo Waters. Even better because he covered for Adam Selwood, who dropped off Valentine, got back and forced the score. Little blokes, they're built low to the ground. Did he drop at the knees, Dan?
Yes, he did. Do you want me to talk about it, or we just let that keep going?
Not yet, Doom.
Well, that's number one for the year for him.
Doom did suggest a rule change pre-match, Jason, up there, which was high contact should only be paid if you draw blood.
Or knock the bloke.
Or knock him out.
Oh, that's the only way around it.
Hams with a full run up from 40 out. Looked a little bit wobbly in flight, but it's good enough. It's a goal, and this is an amazing start for the Eagles.
They are definitely more fluent forward of the centre. There's more space to come into. They've really choked the Fremantle. I suppose that area between true centre wing and the forward 50 for Fremantle, whenever the ball's gone into that area, the West Coast Eagles have choked that area and been able to take it away and overlap the zone that's ahead of them on the flip.
Well, Aston Hams, his second goal of the match. Played 31 games up until today for 33 goals. Fremantle, what will their response be? Crowley stripped of it straight away. Selwood looking for a free. The umpire not obliging. Shuey was strong at the contest. Mundy able to ease out of it. And again, Pavlich not having it all his own way. This time Glass was posed to him. Smith sends Marston away.
Well, he's leading that back six very well, Darren Glass.
Yeah.
West Coast defence is on top, but I think what would be worrying Ross Lyon also is the quality of ball that's going into Fremantle's forward 50.
Even that, I mean, that kick came back across the body rather than put it way. I mean, Pavlich's reputation drew that ball towards him.
Some hesitation from Pritis. It is a real wobbler. Crowley, Main and Barlow, Griffin, Dawson, Pearce, Johnson.
Now they're out.
Game 150, they're out with a big switch. And Mzungu can stride out here along the wing. A couple of bounces. Tries to rev it up now. Had to have a little glance over the shoulder. Off the shoot was Lacroix.
Valentine's got away from Adam Selwood.
And they were too slow really in transition, Fremantle. Now bases are covered. He goes long to full forwards. The midfield, Subin, he's got a free, I reckon. For high contact.
Well, the key to that is making a midfielder like Critters have to defend deep one out. And he was very uncomfortable.
Well, what he did, he identified where that ball was going to drop, and he protected that area, pushed Pritis away, and Pritis could see that area as well and panicked that he wasn't going to get back to it, so he claws on.
After a disappointing last couple of seasons, Nick Subin has got himself really fit. He's a leading tackler in the NAB Cup. And he needs to convert here. His team desperately need a goal on the board. The first one comes from the boot of Nick Subin.
At least that was a better kick because it identified a matchup that favoured Fremantle deep in the forward 50. And you just see he's got the arms virtually around Subin's neck because he doesn't know how to man-on-man deep in defence against a bigger opponent. It's not his go.
Now, I suppose Subin's played the advantage because he sometimes has to play down back and has to do the one-on-one, so he's better adept, more adept.
Subin, still only 22 years of age. Fremantle hopefully can play a meaningful role this season. Goal might just steady their nerves a little. Out of the middle, Shuey trying hard. Selwood got crunched. Nothing unusual about that. That's more unusual. Darren Glass getting the clearance out of the centre. Taken into half forward. Dawson's gone to ground. Now that I thought might have been in the back under the way the rules have been deemed this year. Pearce getting it back to Hill and McFarlane. They're going backwards, deeper into defence. They're delving, and I'm sure that's really helping their cause at the moment, Fremantle. Bit of tunnel ball action. There's numbers everywhere. Here's Subin again, and he went down and got one high.
He was falling through contact before he got contacted. Out
to Lee Spur. Call from Michael Johnson at half back. And decides that Pippa Bradley is a more attacking option.
Johnson keeps running.
The Bradley factor. Finds Johnson, as you mentioned, Jason. Dabs the pass. Main, not perfect.
Yeah.
Certainly didn't panic. Had great confidence in his ability to get out of there. Not perfect into the forward line either by any means, but they've locked it away for the moment. Pearce hacking it. It might sit for Walters. The talented man had a little glance over the shoulder, and unfortunately the ball didn't do what he was hoping it would.
And this is, Kingy, this is what you were showing us pre-game. This is where they love it, Fremantle. They can lock it in, they can play the angles. Oh, hold on the boundary throw.
Yeah, this is still it though, Derm, you're right. If they can lock this ball in, they're going to play 50 now. So that's an easy out. But Fremantle love that situation. If they can just press up the ground and lock that ball in the pocket, force the high ball exit, then they can counter-punch and score. But this is too easy now.
They've got some open ground going forward. Plenty of space to lead into.
Oh, and it just climbs over the jumping Fife to find Darling.
Bad kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a great kick, but it gets the intended result, if not the way he was hoping.
Just put it behind him, didn't he?
Yeah, Waters. Cripps makes a darting lead. Darling's not down there. Only Kennedy. Won't even reach there. It was McCrae. His aim.
Both defences at the moment really good under the high ball coming in. That kick that hits just short of the 50-metre arc is the one that's causing the damage. If they can mark the ball 50 to 60 out, they're producing scores.
Bradley did well, not just to get the tap down, but to guide it into the path of Fife. Cripps had a moment. Selwood looking for a free.
Mentioned Adam Selwood doing the job on Ballantyne before. He's getting plenty of help from his teammates, but Ballantyne's coming off for a spell. Selwood going all the way, cops one in the ribs from him, and Ballantyne is yet to touch the footy.
Prentice attracting a lot of Fremantle. You can see there is purple.
You enjoyed that little chibi coming off, did you, Dermot?
Oh, leave him be. We've already got it in for him.
Well, Gibbs has got a warped sense of humour.
Cripps again. Gaff was reading it well through the air, but so was Johnson. Kennedy disposed of. Gaff on his wrong side. Gives everyone a chance. Maybe nobody. There was so many people there. And the ball once again at fullback with Clancy Pearce.
Oh, he's gone over.
out. He was pointed out by the crow. I think he saw it anyway, the umpire.
That was a big no-y.
Yeah.
Have a look at this again before they bounce it down. Maybe.
The overall stats and inside 50s have really evened up after the Eagles' big start, but where the Eagles are killing Fremantle is in the contested possessions.
And not allowed to break the line. That's why he's called back for that one. And a clean hit over the line by the defending team will result in a free kick. So it's got to come down.
And it does. All Five. Didn't have long enough. Subin ducks beautifully into it.
Oh, how is that advantage?
Well, he took it. Now he's gone.
Give me a break.
He's determined that Spur took it.
Well, that's the explanation. He did take 3 or 4 steps, but sometimes in the heat of battle, you just panic into those. Yeah.
Well, Ashton Hams, what an opening quarter. He's the leading possession winner on the ground.
He tried to kick a banana from there. Why on earth? You've got a 45-degree angle. If you can't back yourself to kick the straight drop punt from there, there's something seriously wrong.
Yeah, you're the goal kicker. Tell us what's wrong.
Well, he's kicked a banana. You've got plenty of angle between the posts to follow your routine. He's obviously got no confidence in his ability, and he's already kicked 2 for the quarter. That boggles the mind.
Either that or he was going on a little bit of an ego trip.
You think he's getting ahead of himself? You are in a mood.
Ran one home with a big banana from 8 metres out.
All right, the wrestle is on. What was Mzungu doing there? Surely that was a free interference. Now Gaff.
Great kick.
It shaped around to the top for Kennedy. Had plenty of company to the Fremantle defence. Very determined there. McFarlane just stopped basically, didn't he? It was probably smart. He didn't want to walk over, so he let them push him over. And the umpire was on it. And no one in the goal square. The ball happens to heave off the boot quickly here. Mundy again tries to take the rear exit. Fremantle didn't like what he saw there. Barlow Shuey tried to make his move. Pierce got the ball out of there as quick as he humanly could.
How good is West Coast pressure?
Was willing to take on Hearn. Now there's some more high contact.
I love the way they're just denying the Dockers any time to consolidate possession down back.
It's going to be a busy quarter time, I reckon, in the huddle for Freo, isn't it? I reckon there'll be plenty of instructions from the coach. Smith, Marston, Pritis. Looks for an angle out of there. Fife starting to really find the footy. His 6th disposal now.
His kicking's been ordinary. He's only going at 33%.
And it is the one area of his game that is below the rest of his attributes, Stern, no doubt.
And he's got Mundy. Pepper's got Mundy sitting at centre half forward here, drawing Cox. Now he'll pull away. He should just go the chip kick to him, because that is a bloke who can seriously kick it.
Well, he's chipped it somewhere in between. Marston hunted down by Valentine, who just wanted to get into the action, I think, and lay something. So he lays a big tackle. The Eagles, of course, missing some of their prime movers. Andrew Embley returning after the hamstring injury is the sub. No Daniel Kerr, and obviously no Nick Natanui. Wellingham, Rosa, amongst the others that are not out there today. LaCroix getting it out of defence. Johnson, that's a throw.
That's a great tackle.
There's no real prior opportunity with that one, but I agree with that. If they can umpire like that all the time, I'd love that.
They have said that they're going to watch for that a little closer this year.
Good.
Where you can't just let the ball go. You've got to be at least making some real genuine attempt. McFarlane.
Well, the tackle broke that free. It was so well applied. It's got to be rewarded.
Nancy Pearce can just pop it over the top, but again,
he's a great kick.
Yeah.
Nancy Pearce can kick the no ball occasionally from fullback.
Johnson. Haven't they had their share of scrubbers? Fremantle. All over the line.
Now they're not kicking well. 65% they're going at the moment. The Eagles fair bit better. 76 up closer to 80.
Griffin brings it down 5. Smothered by his own man. Gaff had the first 2 kicks of the match. Marston. The Eagles heading forward with only 90 seconds on the clock. So Fremantle's defence called upon again. They can't make a mistake here. Duffield looked like he wanted to give it back to Spur, who was completely out of the picture. Hill. And will they chance their arm here through the middle? There's nothing really on for them. So it's around the flanks we go.
Right now, as the Spur goes back, Sudan goes back, the bulk of the players, of the 36 on the field at any one time, there's roughly about 26, 28 of them, that's a throw, between the two 50s. So once it breaks free forward of the centre with any real pace, it's a real scoring opportunity.
Yeah, there's going to be fatigue, a big factor in this game, I suspect. Later on too.
Selwood down behind play.
Yep. They've got through this time. Ballantyne in the pocket. Has a look over the shoulder. They cleared the path for him. And then all he could do was that. The dribble to the top for Bradley. Gets it back. Pavlich looking for an out. Barlow. Now Ballantyne's gone to ground. It's hard from there. He just keeps shuffling it around. Bradley, Main. He gets some elevation. He's got a free.
It's a push. Yeah, gave him no chance. You have to go for the ball on its merits. You can nudge, mate, we'll see that on replay. You can nudge him sideways, but you have to be going for the ball. There was no attack on the ball by the West Coast Eagles defender. It was purely designed, that contact, to shift him away from the footy.
That's so costly in the dying seconds of a quarter.
And they control the quarter. This 6:23 is probably, Jason, a real reflection of how dominant they've been. Now it's only going to be, around just inside a 2-goal lead.
No mistake from Main, and it's just an 11-point ball game at quarter time. So Fremantle will get something out of that, and they will go to the break knowing he's a wide. Just look down, and you should see there's Ballantyne going into Selwood. We'll try and show you a little bit more where to look next time when we play that, but he's gone down, so they'll no doubt have a look at that during the week. There's always something happening with Hayden Ballantyne. There's always something happening in the Derby, and it's the Eagles leading by 11.